Motorsports Engine Show right here at the South Spanish Bull Ring, Senoia Raceway. It's the Motorsports Engine Show. We're right here at the old Tin Roof Alliance Studios, and today's episode, what, Gumbo? Yeah, Gumbo says he don't know how to run a track, and guess what? Many people have asked this question, so we wrangled up Massey during the Ray Cook series, and he had a lot to say about it. So if you ever wondered what it was like to run a racetrack and be in a lineage of a family, a racing family, that is, Massey has a lot to say about that, so we hope you enjoyed this interview right here at the Motorsports Engine Show with Massey. And I got a good friend of mine over here and somebody that's a key element here at the Bull Ring. I have Massey with me over here. What's going on today, Maze?
Oh, man, just trying to get ready for this big show tonight and get everybody parked and organized. And man, the heat is almost unbearable.
Yeah.
It is hot. It's got to be 95 degrees. I don't know what the real feel is, but just trying to keep it all rolling, man.
Yeah, on that, you know, the first segment that we talk about here, I know you're the promoter and kind of a little bit of everything. All of us pitch in and do a little bit of everything here at the track to make it go on.
That's right.
I don't think the average fan really knows the promoter's mind and the racing business mind and stuff as well too. This would be a good time. First segment we call is High Speed Thrills. Boy, you're right in the middle of it right here with this touring series coming in. Tell the average fan, your fan base out there, what it's like to walk in these gates and put on a show every week.
Well, a show like this, you know, it's a Thursday night show that, you know, you got to worry about people's going to come out to support it on a weeknight. Thank goodness at school. Of course, it's been out for a long time with the craziness we got going on.
Yeah.
Not sure when it's going to start back.
Sure.
But, you know, you got to take the weather in consideration. We had a 50% chance of rain today from 1 to 4. It looks like we're finally out of that window. Hopefully we're good for the rest of the night. So the weather's part of it, the support of your fan base. You know, when you get a good series like Ray Cook Southern Nationals coming in, you're going to have the car support because he always gets a good number of cars, especially at this racetrack, because this racetrack here alone is one that limited late models can't compete with the super late models.
That's correct. Yeah.
And there's even some guys that's going to run some crate motors tonight and try to compete with these guys. And of course, the crate motor guys are watching the track real hard, and they're saying that's plenty of water on it. We don't need any more water. Don't add any more water to that thing. It's good right now. So they're looking at it. You got all your other guys looking at it, trying to figure out if it's going to be top dominant, bottom dominant, and that's just part of the hats that we wear, you know, week in and week out.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing, you know, being around a lot of this vibe my entire life and stuff and watching the uniqueness. Let's talk a little bit about the uniqueness of this surface here. We talk a lot about it. We market it here and everything. Now, these drivers have been hammered down for the last 4 nights. I know the last 4 tracks have been hammered down. It's going to be quite opposite here tonight. There's going to be your qualifying, and then you're going to get into your B mains and running in your main here. It's going to be a whole lot different animal here on the Gumbo.
Absolutely. Them guys that we call gassers or mashers or whatever, they're going to have to change their game completely, because once this thing blacks over and slicks off, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And them guys that are gassers or mashers, they're going to have to back up off that pedal, or they will absolutely not go anywhere. They look like John Force going down the back straightaway, making all that racket, but they're not going anywhere. And at that point, you got a guy like a Bubba Pollard.
Yes.
Who, depending on track conditions, may attempt to run in his crate car tonight with the super guys. He knows how to work that throttle just right from all of his time on asphalt, and it could fall right into his hands. You know, not that he can go out and win the race, but he can go out and get a top 5, top 10, and make an incredible showing with a 604 crate engine, where you really can't do that anywhere else. You know, around that. I know. I'm sure there's some tracks where you can, but they're few and far between these days.
Not in my limited knowledge. I'd say there's not either. This is a unique surface, like you said, and the business of racing here is just a little bit different because it brings up a litany of different issues with drivers too that I know you're tackling. You were just tackling one a few minutes ago, matter of fact. And Michael Page is another great example of somebody who can take a smaller engine and run this track and everything.
Yeah, Michael Page has won super races out here with a 525 and passing the big super motors for the win. And he gets around here really good. He's more of a, I hate to say slow, but slower, slick track kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's really good in the hammer down situation too, but that's not one of his favorites.
Yeah.
But when this thing slicks off, I mean, gosh, he's won. I couldn't tell you how many 3, 4, and 5,000 win races out here. And he shows up, and he lives out there in Douglasville, close to where we're at. And I talk to him a lot, and he does a good job. He works hard, and he does a real good job behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, he does. Well, the second part that we go into, as you guys know out there in Motorsports Engine land, is we're going to talk about Finish a Winner. This is, I know, really close to your heart. Your family's involved, your daddy's involved, been involved here for a lot of years. I know a lot of this is his part of a dream that you wanted to put together in his later years and stuff too, to be able to come and run a track and run it family style and stuff. What does that mean for you and the Massey family?
It's something we all enjoy from the racing side of things. I mean, we've been involved in racing through our family for 60 some odd years. My dad could tell you the exact number. But it's just something we do as a family. Do we butt heads sometimes? Absolutely.
Sure.
But that's just part of it. We were butting heads a few minutes ago about parking spots. But, you know, it's a good situation to have because we got so many of these big old S&S haulers out here that we hardly got to find room for them to park.
Yeah.
And it's better than having too much room and, you know, having all the grass not to be used. But, yeah, it's a good family deal. You know, we're involved out here, and this is our 6th season. And I feel like we learn something new every single week.
Yeah.
We far from know-it-all. I'm more from the racer side of things, so I've had to kind of forget about some of the racer stuff and think about the business side of things sometimes, you know. And sometimes we have to all remind each other of it from the business side of things, of what's the best decision for the business, just not, you know, the best decision as a racer sometimes. And sometimes they're completely different. And so we are running a business here, and we do, you know, we enjoy it, but we've had a lot of success, a lot of car count. Had 112 cars last Saturday night.
That was incredible.
And man, there was people everywhere. Great car counts for just a regular Saturday night show.
Yeah.
It was our 5-star Chrysler 602, 604 series, so it wasn't a regular show, but we had extra cars in all them classes. And it was just a good night, hot like tonight. But 112 cars is really hard to complain about.
Yeah, no complaints there. Switch gears just a little bit about your baby boy. You got a son now that's living the dream. I've been fortunate to be able to watch him the last 6 years here and moving up all the way through the Truck Series into the Xfinity Series this year. Talk a little bit about what's going on with Mason, what it means for you to have a dad that's you know, helping that dream come alive for your son.
Well, I just enjoy, you know, being with him. Introduced him to racing out at Seven Flags in Douglasville when he was 3, watching Uncle Marty race, who quit for a long time, and he's back racing now. And he decided at age 3 he wanted to be a race car driver. So we jumped in quarter midgets at age 5, and we did the quarter midgets, we did the Bandoleros, the Legend cars, the Asphalt late models, the Asphalt Super late models, the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. Been dirt car racing for 6 years with crates and supers. And he's got a very, very diverse resume as far as what he's done on racetrack. And as far as all the stuff he's getting to do, you know, he's very thankful for the partners he has to allow him to do this kind of racing. I enjoy going with him to do the NASCAR stuff, to watch him live a dream. He moved to Charlotte back in January. And
how's that working out for you, by the way, as a dad?
Well, as a dad, I kind of got used to it. It was a lot harder than I anticipated when we officially dropped him off. And he's got a townhouse up there with 2 buddies. And, you know, he is 23. He's a grown man.
Sure.
But it's still a little weird, you know, as a parent when you leave the first one for the first time, even though he is 23. So it was a little different. But, you know, I thought about driving all the way home from up there in Charlotte, or he lives in Huntersville. I thought the whole way home, boy, how hard it was to leave him there. But on the other hand, I'm leaving him there because he's living a dream.
That's right.
So it's kind of hard to be sad or whatever about it. And to get to see him able to... He ain't getting rich, but he's making a living.
That's right.
And I've always told him, I said, if you love your job, you'll never work a day of your life. And I've always liked that little slogan there. And he understands it now more than he ever has because he's getting paid to drive a race car and he's paying his bills. He ain't calling dad for this and dad for that. But, you know, he's always still looking for more partners to be able to run more races.
Sure.
And here's Ray Cook calling as we speak. But... It's just it's fun to watch him. You know, the NASCAR deal's changed a lot with the pandemic, and I was invited by the team to join the pit crew so I can actually go to the races.
How about that?
I went through all the paperwork and signing the COVID papers and all the drug tests. I mean, I'm considered on paper a NASCAR mechanic, which
Get that.
they don't let me touch the race car.
You heard it first right here on the Motorsports Engine Show.
Like I said, on paper. So I get to go to the races with him, and I get to hold the sign out when he comes in for a pit
Get
stop.
on.
So that's my job. Somebody's got to hold the sign. I volunteer to hold the sign. I get to go to the races with him. And I honestly tell you, there's nothing I'd rather be doing.
That's awesome.
And I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. He's done great with the no practice deal. Just jumping out there at Talladega and going 198.
Yeah, he's already been top 20.
Yeah, he's got him some top
awesome.
20s, and
amazing.
Just trying to do better. You know, he's ran 8 races this year, and fortunate for him, as a young driver, he's brought it home all 8 races in one piece. So that's very important. If you go out there as a young driver with not a lot of funding behind you and start crashing, that's the quickest way to end your career.
You're right. You're right about that.
He's doing his job is what he's doing. And it's a business like anything else. So he's just hoping he can do more and do more next year.
Yeah, last little things to ask, as I told you before we started here, is what are you thankful for right now? I know there's a lot that's happened within your family. You talked about the COVID and different things with your daddy's sisters and stuff and all.
Yeah.
What is it, for those out there that are struggling right now? I know there's a lot that listen and watch this show. What kind of inspiration or thankfulness or gratefulness can you bring to them right now?
I'm not really an inspiration talking guy, but, you know, I'm the guy that the glass is half full.
Okay.
You know, I always try to look at the better side of things, not the worst side of things. I'm just thankful that I have a family behind me that supports me in everything I do. We got a lot of irons in the fire these days with our family and working and running businesses and stuff, which is great opportunities for us. And, you know, not only do I have Mason who's chasing his dream, but I got a daughter that's in nursing school right now.
That's right, yeah.
She's studying to be a nurse, and I'm very proud of her. And, man, I'm going to be honest with you. That stuff they have to do, the schooling part is off the chain crazy. But I got another daughter who's a junior in high school whenever it starts back. But I just, you know, try to do the right thing all the time. Raise my own children to be responsible, respectable adults is what I'm trying to do with my kids, and be a plus in this world, in this society, because there's so much negative stuff in this world, in this society, that it's out of control. And all the bickering and arguing, you know, and I just don't understand what's going on in this world. If we can tune the media out, I think it'd be a lot better place, because I've got, and you know, I'm kind of going down a different road with this, but this is what the world is at right now. I mean, I've got black friends that I grew up with. I played football with in high school, ran track with them in high school, played football with in college, and we can sit here and talk all day about the world's issues. But if we listen to our media, me and him shouldn't be able to get along.
That's correct.
According to the media. But that's how silly it is, because me and my buddies that I grew up with, I know their heart, they know my heart, we know where each other stands. And, you know, we can agree to disagree on topics, and that's cool. That's part of it. But as far as the hate and the violence and all that, man, it's out of control.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy where this world's going to. We just got to get everything back to family stuff and spending time with families and dads around for children, and just be a better person in a better world.
I know Delana, your wife, is very, very big on this as well too. She tells me every once in a while, you know, pray for my family. We're holding it together. I'm doing the best I can do, Michael. And quick shout out to your wife and what she does. I see her every week out here.
She's homeschooled all 3 of our kids from day one, and Mason's got 1 year of college left. My other daughter's in nursing school, and she's homeschooling our last daughter. And hey, hats off. I don't have the time or much less the patience to do it. And she has been able to educate them at home. We've been fortunate she could do that. And it's been a blessing for our family.
Awesome. Well, you heard it right here first. You know, you got opportunity to really find out what's going on with the racetrack world, and also with the Massey family as well. Once again, right here on the Motorsports Engine Show, Massey of Senoia Raceway out here. Thank you so much, Maze.
Man, anytime. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for checking in this week on the Motorsports Engine Show. What a great episode we have. And I know, Joe, what are you doing up there, man? Look, Producer X, look what he's doing. Get on out. But anyhow, forget about Joe over there. Appreciate you checking in, like we said. Check us out on social media. It's Motorsports Engine on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and soon to be coming, a YouTube channel, all up under Motorsports Engine. Until next week, It's always tough to run without the engine, but remember this too as well. Take a little dare, get up there and hit that cush. You may scrape your panel up there on there or two. Or if you feel so inclined and it's in your heart, get down there and catfish a little bit. But until next week, thanks for checking in.